Good morning and welcome to Mountain Harmony Gardening. I'm Kristen. Today I'm going to be showing you what I do to plan my garden. The first thing you want to do is you want to keep a garden journal. I like to handwrite mine and put mine in a book, but you could use your computer and type it up, or you could download a gardening app that will help you. The reason that you want to keep a garden journal is because it will show your successes and your failures, and you can also write down any of the changes that you want to make. I started keeping my journal in 2022, and in my journal I took notes on different gardening shows that I was watching and finding out all of their tips that they had for gardening. So I kept that all in here, and then I had a page on every single individual bed that I had out there, and I wrote down what worked and what didn't work. And this is a good way for you guys to know for the future what works and doesn't. The next step that you want to do is you want to measure your garden beds. And the reason that I do this is that so I know exactly how many plants I can put in each of my garden beds. I wanted to show you how I draw out my garden beds. I draw one of these for each of my garden beds. And I like to use graph paper because now I know what my scale is. So it's 4 of the squares equal a foot. Now this bed is 6 foot 3 inches by 3 feet 10 inches. So I map that out on my paper, and this is bed number 1 with the trellis. It's the one at the top of the garden that we're going to be redoing next year. And so what I know is that there's going to be a trellis that comes up from this, and I can plant my pumpkins and my spaghetti squash down here at the bottom. And the way I know how far to place them apart is because I've been growing them on this trellis for quite a few years. And also, I use the back of the seed packages, like this one, and it'll show you your spacing that you need. Also, I have Mel's book, Square Foot Gardening. I got this book as a gift from my grandparents when I was a teenager, and he still had his TV show. But this also shows you that you don't have to worry about row spacing. You can plant the plants a lot closer together. And that's the method I'm using here is square foot gardening. So now I know that this is how much space I have for my spaghetti squash. And from the bok choy, I looked online because I have to order those yet, how their spacing is. I can put in the nasturtium and more bok choy, and then peas up the back during the spring. And then on the side, I show exactly what I'm going to be planting next year and how many plants I need for each of those. Now that I've measured my beds and drawn them up, I had also made a list of all the seeds that I already have, which are in these containers next to me. And I also answered the question, what do I really want to grow this year? And I know that this year we're not going to be growing eggplants. We just really didn't use them, and they didn't grow as well as I would want. I've been trying them for about 3 years, and I think I'm finally going to just give up on them. So now that I have my list, and I also made a list of what flowers and vegetables I want in the garden, and one of the resources I used to figure out some of this was Brian's book on companion planting. I will leave a link to where you can purchase his book, but he has an awesome YouTube gardening channel too, and I'll leave a link for him below as well. I love his channel. I watch it every time there is a new video out. I am always learning something from him, so I recommend both of these books highly for when you're planting your garden. The next step is probably the most fun for me. It's when I get to make my list of what seeds I'm going to order. So after I figured everything else out, I know that this long list here is what I need to still order. And I figured out that I want to try some more flowers this year because we're putting in that new flower bed. And I order from Baker Creek. I know that you guys have seen this catalog because I've posted some pictures of it. And I also have ordered from Epic Gardening and their seeds botanical interest. So this last week, as a birthday gift to myself, because my birthday is coming up, when this will be posted on Friday, my birthday is actually on Saturday. And every year, my gift from Donnie and from Sebastian too is seeds. I always want seeds. So I placed my order with Baker Creek, and I also placed an order with Epic Gardening. I ordered some more of their 6 cells too while I was at it. So this is the funnest part. The whole entire planning process probably took me a whole day with measuring the beds, actually maybe 2 days, because I spent a whole entire day looking at the catalog, figuring out all the cool flowers I wanted to grow. So take your time, you know, get out a little mug of coffee or tea, whichever you want, hot chocolate, and just sit down and enjoy yourself. I put on my comfy clothes and I really had fun with this. Another thing I like to do with the catalogs is I go through and I dog ear all of the pages so I can know what I want to grow. And you know, like this was the first list that I made, and you can see some of the stuff is crossed off. So just have fun with this process, and you can use this if you're growing in containers. Like at the very back here, I also accounted for all of our blocks, our pots, and our grow bags too. Everything I wanted to grow in them, and I took measurements of them too. So I think this tips will definitely help you plan your garden. In our next video, I'm going to be showing you guys how we grow our seedlings inside. Once we take down the tree behind me, which we'll be doing later on today, we set up a large rack, and I want to show you guys exactly how I do that so that you guys can get ready to start your seeds with me. If you have any questions about any of these tips that I've given you and how I start my garden, put them in the comments below and I will definitely answer your questions to the best of my knowledge. So thanks for watching, everybody, and happy gardening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment.